Margaritaville Islander, and it was Mother Nature looked like for a minute thought she had different plans for us to get on this cruise here.
Well, family and friends, this is what it's like on cruise day. No one wants to see this on cruise day. So let's see what happens. The ship is already here. You can see the lightning. Ship is already here though.
But looked like, well, it did work out. And so we're back on here. This day, I think it's 5 or 6. And I thought about a fun video to do to give you more information. Mainly, this is going to be first-time cruisers. And do as I say, not as I don't. So family and friends, if you don't know, I've been living on cruise ships for about 17 years now, part-time. I don't have an apartment. I don't have a home. I don't have mortgage, rent. I work a lot, and my job has me travel. And from there, I just jump on cruises. So I've been doing this for 17 years. And I have to admit, I've gotten pretty complacent. So this video is tips for first-time cruisers, the first 10, and we'll do more series on this. 10 tips on what you should do before you even get on the ship. And we're gonna start with number one. Number one, plan your itinerary. Now, I know that's a given. Most people are going to do that, but this is one thing Uncle Grandpa Haven don't do. I don't plan. I'm all about cost. So I'm just going through the list. And if I see a cruise, you know, Uncle Grandpa Haven, the cheaper the better. So if it's a cruise, I'm going on it. But for you, most of you all, plan your itinerary, know where you want to go. Tip number 2, be flexible with your itinerary. As first-time cruisers, well, if you traveled before, you know things happen. Ships happen. So what that means is you have all the plans in the world. The cruise line has sold you a trip, and that's where I want to go. But you know what? Mother Nature may have plans, might have a mechanical issue. It can happen, and you may go to another port altogether, or you just may not go to a port. So what they may do is they may just skip a port. So let's say you book that cruise a year out and you haven't really done your due diligence and you see a price in October. That's high peak season for hurricane. So most cruises will still go, but they'll have different plans to go somewhere else or just stay at sea, because they have the capabilities of avoiding storms like that. So once again, be flexible in your itinerary. And Uncle Grandpa Haven, that's one thing I do. I am flexible. I'm all about the cruise ship. So if I make it to the port, that's fine. If not, I'm okay with that. Tip number 3, book your cruise well in advance. The reason I say book your cruise well in advance, it gives yourself time and you're not stressed about money. So that way, you want to make it an all-inclusive event as best as possible. And what that means is the further out that you book your cruise, the more time you have to pay for that cruise, and you're not stressed about cash when you get on that ship, because those things would have been paid off within 90 days of the departure date. And so that will, and pretty much when you get on the ship, you won't have to worry about cash, because first of all, it's a cashless system on the ship, with the exception of Uncle Grandpa Haven's favorite place, the casino. But it can be an all-inclusive event, and you're not worried about cash on the ship, or you're stressed about. And then that gives you an opportunity to know what's come with the cruise, as far as their specialty dinings that you will have to pay for extra. So you can pay for all that in advance. This is a don't that I don't do. Again, I'm a last minute person. So, all right, family and friends. Tip number 4, And I am truly guilty of this one. This is a I don't, but you should. Travel insurance. Your health is important. So family and friends, you never know what will happen once you get out here on this cruise ship and you need some you need some medical attention. Get travel insurance, and I am guilty. I roll the dice and take my chances, but that is something that you should not. It will cost to be helipad off a cruise ship. So once again, travel insurance, in addition to travel insurance for your travel plans. Hey, things happen. You mess around and your your travel plans to the ship, something happens via airplane and you don't make the ship, hey, you can get reimbursed for that. But something that I suggest, because I don't do travel insurance, make sure you read the contract, make sure what are you covered for and what type of coverage you have. Okay? So that's tip number 4. All right, family. Up to this year, I was guilty of this one. Come in the day before your cruise. Alleviate all the stress. Again, that kind of piggyback on number 4. If you miss that cruise, you miss it, but at least you had insurance. But tip number 5, arrive the day before. Here's a couple of things that's to your advantage. You're rested. You're not stressed out when you get to ship. So by coming the day before, now you can map out your plans on how you can get to the cruise ship, or how you're going to get to the cruise ship, what your cost is going to be to get to that cruise ship. So once again, come in the day before. All right, tip number 6. This kind of goes hand in hand with planning your itinerary. Know your ship, know your location, know your cabin. For me, it's a don't. All about prices. So I can sleep through anything. So I did not care what ship I was on, what location, or what room type. You could give me an interior, and I might be in that room. I could care less if it's day or night. When I feel I'm on me time. So when I get up is when I get up. I don't need to know what time of day it is. I don't make any plans on the ship. So again, know your cabin location, because you might be right above the theater like I was. You might be next door to a club like I was. But fortunately for me, it did not bother me. Tip number 7, get to the ship on time. Family and friends, this is not the airlines. You don't stroll in 5 minutes before that departure time think you're gonna get on the ship. Get to the ship on time. For potential first time cruises means 1.5 to 2 hours prior to the departure of the ship. They call it gangway up. And guess what? Ships will leave you. And also, that's, if I'm not mistaken, travel insurance will not cover that. So again, plan to get to that ship 1.5 hours to 2 hours. Now, I'm guilty. I don't get to the ship until about that 1.5 hour mark, 2 hour mark, because I'll be honest with you, I don't like crowds. And I like for my room to be ready. So I stroll right on in just about that time when the ship. Now, keep in mind, I'm somewhere near the ship. I might be at a coffee shop or somewhere like that. But tip number 8, I think as a first time cruiser, you should get you a travel agent. It alleviates so much stress. especially when life is lifing. You got all other distractions that's going on. You have that travel agent there to just walk with you and hold your hand. I think is really important. And after that, once you get the lay of the land, feel free to do it on your own. But I truly strongly suggest getting a travel agent. I think it's worth the service fee. I think it's more of an investment because it can be costly later on. But that is a do as I say, not as I don't. Tip number 9. Tip number 9 is, it goes along with plenty itinerary, but I want to keep it separate. Know the time of the year that you're traveling. There are seasons for cruises. You have spring break, you have summer, you have hurricane season. So remember the time of the season. So that may make or break your potential great time on the ship. You get on those spring break cruises, and man, they just partying too hard and just too many people for you. So again, know the season when you travel. And tip number 10, plan on using a credit card, prepaid card, or something like that for your deposit. Something other than your debit card. Here's the reason why, family and friends. Especially if you don't prepay a lot of stuff when you get on the ship, or you're one of those that, hey, I only need a drink every now and then. What will happen is, when you put your debit card up for deposit, I think it's $100 or $200. This is something Uncle Grandpa Haven don't do. But when you start charging, the cruise line, the system and its algorithm, they're looking at that system and they say, uh-oh, we got to make sure we get our money. So they will put additional holds on your card. And if it's your debit card, your lifeline, when you get off the ship and rectify your bill, your bank still holds that, or still has that authorization hold on your credit card. It is not the cruise line. Due to popular belief that the cruise line is holding your money, it is not the cruise line. It is your bank holding your money. And guess what? It can be anywhere between 3 to 45 days. And so if that's your lifeline and you're already on a budget, you had a good time and you coming back to the ship, excuse me, you coming back home and you got that bit surprised and you want to call the cruise line, it's not the cruise line. It's your bank, and they're going to release it when they're ready to release it. Well, family and friends, I'm going to conclude with that. And as I stated before, do as I say, not as I don't. Now, I'm getting better with a couple of the don'ts, only because I started the YouTube channel. And this year, I've gotten really better. I'm coming in the day before, mainly because I'm taking footage. And family and friends, here's a bonus tip. Choose your cruise mate wisely. The last thing you want to do is get on a cruise and it'll be with the wrong person. That could be your best friend. It could be a family member, a classmate, or what have you. But choose your cruise mate wisely. It will make or break your cruise. Well, that's all I have for tips on this series for pre-cruisers. Do me a favor. Put in your suggestions on pre-cruise tips. Forget to hit that subscribe button on the way out. Cheers, Uncle Grandpa Haven. I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it.